Hi everyone. So I'm making a video to explain in more details about this task that I've seen that there has been a lot of issues with this. So to explain about this, I'm just going to use these spheres. These are models of atoms. So I have a couple of them. So let's say that's one atom. So it's orange, so one atom. I have another one which is yellow, so another atom. So they are different atoms. So they are different elements, they're different particles, they're different elements, different size, different mass. Okay, now let's say these two atoms come together in a reaction. Okay, they're not mixing. Mixing is different. Mixing is when you take salt, you add to water. That's mixing. A reaction is going to happen when bonds are formed. Bonds are formed or bonds are broken. So in this case, these two will come together, they will react, and there's going to be a bond that is going to be formed between these two. Okay, so let's make them react. Okay, they come together, and suddenly a bond forms between them. Okay, so that's not an element anymore. This is now a molecule. So this molecule consists of two different types of atoms. This is one type of atom. This is another type of atom. Okay, so that's a molecule with two different types of atoms. Now let's say we have these two. So these two, they are the same elements because they are the same size, the same mass, same color here. So it's the same element. So the same element, the same particle coming together, and a reaction takes place. Okay, and suddenly they are bonded together. So this white thing here is representing a bond, which means that they're kind of glued together. Okay, so they're not just like roaming around with next to each other, they're kind of glued together, they're bonded together. So here we have a bond. We have a bond between two particles, and these two particles happen to be the same element. Okay, so because there's two particles together, we call it a molecule. But this molecule consists of only one type of atom. So there's just black color here. So it's a molecule, but it's made up of only one type of atom. So this molecule is actually an element. Okay, the elements are not alone, the elements are not atoms, the elements exist as molecules. Okay, so that's a molecule, it's not an atom. An atom exists on its own. This is an atom. Okay, that's an atom. This now becomes a molecule. Okay, they are together, they are bonded. Right, let's see another example. So now we have the black particle. So that's one kind of atom. I have another, the yellow one, another kind of atom. And I have an orange one, another kind of atom. So how many different types of atoms do we have here? There's 3 types of atoms. We're going to make these 3 react together. Okay, so they come together and they will react. And here we have bonds formed between these 3 atoms. Right, so how many different types of atoms are there? So 1 type of atom, 2 type of atom, 3 types of atoms. So these 3 types of atoms come together and they form a molecule. Okay, so we see that molecules, they're just like atoms coming together. If there's more than, so there's 2 or more atoms together, it's called a molecule. The atoms can be of the same type or they can be of different types, right? So this is a molecule of atoms of different types. And this is a molecule of atoms of the same type. Okay, so in here we can see the bonds. But on the diagram that you have on the screen, you can't see the bonds. It's kind of hidden. So there's just 2 ways of showing a molecule. Sometimes you show the bonds, sometimes you don't. So in the diagram here, on the screen, you don't see the bonds. Here, you can see the bonds. Okay, So let's see the examples now. So let's take the first one. So we're going to kind of show the bonds, so show the atoms. So that's one kind of atom. So these two, they are the same. So let's say it's element 1, okay? And then the green one, that's going to be element 2. So how many different types of atoms there are here? So A has 2 types of atoms, okay? Let's look at B. I think you have figured it out now, but let's go through a couple more examples. B, so you see that's one kind of atom, and the second one is the same. So that's a second kind of, it's a second atom, but it's the same element. So there's just one element here. We could say it's element 1, okay? So B has only one type of atom, just orange atoms. If you look at example C, again, so you see the orange atom, again orange atom, and again orange atom. So there's 3 atoms bonded together, and they are all the same atoms. Okay, so it contains only one kind of atom. So basically the question is asking you how many colors make up the molecule. Okay, so A, 2 colors, B, 1 color, C, 1 color, D, it's 2. So that's 1, and then the green one is going to be the second. So there's 2 type of atoms here. E again, so 1 and 2. So there's 2 types of atoms here. If you look at F, there's a little bit more. So F, that's 1 atom, 1 kind. Here, a second kind of atom. And here, there's a third kind of atom. So F is made up of 3 different types of atoms. It's just like having a molecule like this. So I don't have the same colors, but a molecule like this, okay? See, so there's 3 kind of atoms here. It's a molecule that consists of more than 1 type of atom, but there's 1, 2, 3 different elements in here, okay? Let's look at G. G, there is 1, these 2 are the same, okay? So that's 1. And then let's use different colors. Okay, so that's 1. And then that's the second element. So this one contains 2 different types of atoms. H, so the red one, that's 1 kind of atom, and the orange one is the second kind of atom. So here there's 2 types of atoms making up that molecule. And I, you see the green one is 1 kind of atom, and the red one, that's the second kind of atom. So here there is 2 different types of atom making that molecule. So molecules need to have more than one atom together. This is not a molecule. This is an atom. Okay? This is a molecule. Right? So you can have a molecule with different elements, or you can have a molecule with the same elements, like this one, C. Okay? So that's the explanation for that question. I'm going to move. The next video is going to talk about the other question, the next question.